14 twisted Angelina Jolie stories that prove there's more to her than meets the eye. Every A-list actress has her own fascinating history, and for mega-celebrity Angelina Jolie, that history is extra twisty. There are plenty of dark facts about Angelina Jolie, the child of actor Jon Voight, who made her name as a wild child. She notoriously experimented with drugs, got married a bunch of times, and even creepily made out with her own brother. Her more recent years as a formidable acting talent and special envoy for the United Nations Refugee Agency, as well as her family-focused private life, may have led many to forget the morbid marrow at the heart of Angelina Jolie. But we should never forget the other dark Angelina Jolie facts that are the salty to her now sweet disposition. Here's all the reasons why no matter how saint-like Angie gets, she'll always be the dark-minded, knife-wielding, blood-wearing actress who captured our black hearts long ago. She cast destitute children for a movie by taunting them with money. Recently Jolie encountered backlash to her filmmaking methods when describing how she cast a children's role. The film, shot in Cambodia, is an adaptation of the memoir First They Killed My Father. The casting was not only unorthodox, but deeply disturbing. As described in an interview with Vanity Fair, the casting director put money on a table in front of Cambodian orphans, told them to brainstorm things they needed the cash for, and instructed them to steal it away. The casting directors would catch the kids, who then have to come up with a fib on the spot. The child who landed the starring role had the hardest time giving back the money, describing that she had hoped to use it for her recently deceased grandfather's funeral. That time she appeared to enjoy kissing her own brother a bit too much. Angelina Jolie is quite close to her brother, James Haven, but sometimes their relationship looks a little too Targaryen, hint, hint, sexual, for comfort. Jolie took Haven as her date to the 2000 Academy Awards. To the shock, or delight, of the paparazzi, the two locked lips on the red carpet for a rather long kiss. Jolie was hanging on her brother and describing being in love. Jolie's childhood nanny explained it away as a sister needing the support of a brother. The kiss came on the day their mother was first treated for cancer, but for something so taboo, it's hard not to see it as slightly creepy. Jolie once tried to hire someone to kill her. Angelina Jolie has been famously depressive throughout her life, but her absolute low may have been when she once tried to hire someone else to murder her. In the early days of her acting career, Jolie said in an interview she had been feeling suicidal. She couldn't quite stomach the idea of her family and friends being guilt-riddled by a suicide, so she figured constructing her own murder was the better option. Luckily the hitman she spoke to asked her to consider it for a month, at which point she perked up and decided it wasn't worth it. That time she might have stolen Brad Pitt from Jennifer Aniston. Before there was Brangelina, or celebrity couple nicknames in general, there was Brad and Jen. As in Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. And while no one is likely to forget the sour beginnings of Brangelina, their eventual coupling was tainted by the rumors that Angelina broke up Brad and Jen's marriage. The A-list actors were married from 2000 to 2005, at which time Pitt publicly filed for divorce. Not soon after, he was shacking up with Jolie after meeting her on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The tabloids went nuts, pitting actress against actress, as Pitt was pictured out and about with Jolie and her son, Maddox. The public quickly took sides, labeling Angelina a homewrecker and spawning Team Angelina or Team Jen shirts. She handled the attention with the icy cool demeanor she's always possessed. She exchanged blood with then-husband Billy Bob Thornton for wearing around their necks. Angelina and her second husband, actor Billy Bob Thornton, were creepily close. They made no secret of their shared interest in limo sex and wearing vials of each other's blood. Thornton told The Hollywood Reporter, "She thought it would be interesting and romantic if we took a little razor blade and sliced our fingers, smeared a little blood on these lockets, and you wear it around your neck just like you wear your son or daughter's baby hair in one. Same thing. From that, according to the tabloids, we were wearing quart jars of blood around our necks. And we were vampires and lived in a dungeon." She was married in rubber pants and a bloody t-shirt. Angelina Jolie has married 3 times. Her first spouse, Johnny Lee Miller, married her in 1996. They met while filming the 1995 film Hackers. The two were only married for 3 years, but their wedding was certainly strange. She reportedly donned rubber pants and a t-shirt with Johnny Lee Miller's name scrawled on it, in blood. The two have remained close over the years. She was sexually adventurous, and kinky, from a very young age. Always very open about her sexuality, Jolie once claimed she was very sexual in kindergarten. While those early years were just games played by children, she has admitted that she first became sexually active at an unusually young age for most women. She started having sex at age 14. Her eagerness for sexual emotion wasn't always met, and she told OK! that early on in her sexual exploration she introduced knife play. She told the magazine, "I had started having sex with my boyfriend and the sex and the emotions didn't feel enough. I was no longer a little girl. In a moment of wanting to feel closer to my boyfriend I grabbed a knife and cut him. He cut me back." Her backup plan if acting failed was to be a funeral director. Jolie's always been drawn to the dark side, so it was no big surprise when she revealed in 2011 that she always wanted to be a mortician. This fascination grew out of discontent with the way her own grandpa's funeral was handled. Jolie said, "It sounds like this very strange, eccentric, dark thing to do, but in fact I lost my grandfather and was very upset with his funeral." She even took an at-home course on the subject while in her teens and got a mail-order certificate. She struggled with an addiction to heroin and cocaine. A few years ago, a very disturbing video of a young Angelina Jolie surfaced. In the 16-minute clip, she's pacing around in a dirty apartment, talking on the phone anxiously, purportedly with her father, about money matters and relationships. According to drug dealer Franklin Meyer, he shot the film with Jolie's permission in 1999. He claimed to have been her cocaine and heroin dealer at the time. Jolie has since said she was lucky to survive that time period. Her relationship with her father has mostly been tumultuous. Jolie's dark sensibilities may stem from her longtime enmity with her father, actor Jon Voight. The two feuded for a decade when Voight claimed his daughter had serious mental problems in 2002. She lashed out at him for cheating on her mother and leaving his family. They've been on better terms since 2010, though he didn't attend her wedding to Brad Pitt in 2014. In recent years, the pair has been pictured together more often, suggesting a father-daughter reconciliation. Jon has made more of an effort to know his 6 grandkids. Though it's still puzzling that he's openly supported President Trump despite Donald Trump's practice of making negative and rude comments about Angelina over the years. Jolie and Pitt had a very public and angry breakup. Jolie and Brad Pitt tied a knot at the request of their children in 2014, but she filed for divorce just 2 years later. Rumors have swirled about the reasons for their split and a very public spat on a plane, in which an allegedly drunk Pitt lashed out physically at their son Maddox, fueled the tabloid speculation. Pitt was investigated for child abuse and cleared of the charges. He has since been working on living sober and maintaining a relationship with his children. Her mother died young. Stunning Angelina looks a lot like her deceased mother, actress Marceline Bertrand. Angie was very close to her mother, who passed away at the young age of 57 from ovarian cancer. Angie bravely decided to have a preventative double mastectomy and had her ovaries removed to lessen her risk of cancer. Jolie gave her daughter Vivian her mother's middle name and recalled their closeness in a 2013 interview. "My mother was a full-time mother. She didn't have much of her own career, her own life, her own experiences. Everything was for her children. I will never be as good a mother as she was. I will try my best, but I don't think I ever will be. She was the most generous, loving woman. She's better than me." She lashed out with a lot of extreme behavior in her youth. In 2010, Angie bravely opened up about self-harming as a child. She said, "I used to cut myself or jump out of airplanes, trying to find something new to push up against because sometimes everything else felt too easy." She also suffered from anorexia in her teen years and was drawn into drug use. She once said playing characters only made her compare her real life to their fake ones, trying to one-up them with extreme behavior. She says this accounts for her many tattoos as well. She ghosted Mick Jagger, who was obsessed with her. One Rolling Stone, the legendary Mick Jagger, loved himself some Angie Jolie. In 1997, the Playboy rocker was immediately attracted to Angie, an extra in the Stones' video "Anybody Seen My Baby?" At the time, Jolie was married to Johnny Lee Miller and rumors were swirling that she was having an affair with another actor. Jagger didn't care about her marital status or the rumors. He called her until she agreed to spend time with him. One weekend together left Mick infatuated and Jolie indifferent. She refused to answer his calls, though he supposedly pursued her another few years, convincing her at one point to have a fling with him.